Hi guys, so today I'm coming to you with a video about a couple of my favorite YouTube channels to watch and the ones that I watch to distract myself in preparation for my surgery. So if you're interested in knowing what they are, stick around. Okay, so I decided to make a video with the ways that I distracted myself working my way up to my sleeve surgery. I hope this is a little bit lighter video than my other videos, which is mostly about updates and the food I eat and the medication I take. So let's dive right in. Leading up to my surgery, I spent a lot of time looking at different videos trying to see if I was making the right decision or not. And one of the first channels that I found is called CL. Her videos, she's someone who had sleeve surgery, and also following that she had other modifications to take off loose skin, I believe, and a breast job. But I just think that she's really funny, and the way that she explains some things made me see the entire operation in a different light. She was really the first one that I looked up with the intention of trying to find information about the operation from the point of view of a specific person who's gone through it. And it was really in that time period where I was trying to decide whether or not I wanted to do it, go through with the surgery. And she was the first channel that I fell on. And I really enjoyed her videos. I spent hours and hours watching her videos because I find she's really funny and I just love the way that she talks. And she tells it like it is. She tells it that she was losing her hair, and she talks about how she was overweight her entire life. And it's a shock to go from being overweight your entire life to losing weight. So I really enjoyed her channel. And before I continue, I just want to say that all of the channels that I'm going to mention and all of the things that I'm going to mention, I'm going to just link them in the description below. So in case you want to check out these channels, feel free to click and go and see what their channels are like. The next other channel I found, it wasn't, I would say I didn't spend as much time watching her channel. It's Kimberly H. If I'm not wrong, if I am, I'll write it somewhere, but I believe it's Kimberly H. And she as well went through the surgery, and I didn't spend as much time watching her videos as I did with Clusy's videos. But I remember I was watching her videos, her more recent videos, and I decided, well, what I'll do is I'll go back to the beginning, because what I was focused on really was the beginning of the operation, what people went through in the very, very beginning, the days of the operation, what the surgery was like. So I wanted to see more about that information because that was what was impacting me the most at the moment. So I went back to the beginning of her videos, and I couldn't believe, well, I mean, I was shocked at her transformation, all of her hard work and everything she went through, from the way that she looked in her videos now compared to her first videos. There was a big difference, and it was something that motivated me, like this is possible to actually lose weight off of this surgery. And I liked the way that she talked about things and described things, and she as well seemed really real like Clusy did. So she's another channel I really liked. For what was about weight loss, those were the two main channels that I looked at. Besides that, the other one thing that I did nonstop, almost obsessively, before I had the operation, and especially the days leading up to the operation, on Instagram, I went to, it's either VSG or VSG Community, one of those two. You have before and after pictures. So I was looking at a lot of before and after pictures, and just to motivate myself, like, look at what this person went through, it's possible. Look at what this one person went through, it's possible. And I just spent a lot of time looking through pictures of people. I had already done the huge part of the work of looking up the consequences of the operation in the positive and the negative. I knew what I had gotten myself into negative-wise, and I just wanted to see the results, real results with real people. So that's why my decision had already been made that I was going through with the surgery. I just needed motivation. So that's why I was looking at the before and after pictures. I would just scroll through those pictures nonstop, and then I would find another one, sleeve surgery before and after. I would scroll through those pictures. I needed the before and after to prove to myself that this is possible, this can happen, this can work. So Instagram was a way that I really found that lacking motivation leading up to the surgery, where nerves were starting to impact me, and you start second guessing yourself. Am I really doing this right? Am I doing the right thing? So I was lacking that motivation, and Instagram gave it to me with everyone's pictures. And I mean, now I know a little bit more what it's like. I'm only at the very beginning of my journey at this compared to some of those people, but it wowed me on how much people can actually physically change when they decide to go through with something like this. So I spent a lot of time on Instagram. A lot of time on Instagram, just scrolling away. And I just have to say, pet peeve of mine, people who make before and after pictures, but put their after picture in the before spot. I mean, the title is before and after, and you've put after and before. You've totally ruined what a before and after picture is. I know it's something stupid to complain about, but it's before and after, people. But you don't after and before. It's like, did you gain weight or did you lose, like, before and after? It's my personal preference. You can do what you want. I'm just saying. Other ways that I distracted myself, I didn't just focus solely on weight loss programs, videos, YouTube, or Instagram. I also watched a couple of other channels that I became obsessed with. So I just wanted to share those with you. So just in case, if it could interest you or distract you from something else that's stressing you out, it would give you other channels that you might be able to explore. So one of the channels that I got introduced to was called Beauty News. It's about these two girls, Kat and Haley, who live in Australia and talk about makeup. That's all they talk about. That is their main subject, is makeup. That's why it's called Beauty News. They have their channel of Beauty News, and they each have their individual channels as well. But with the Beauty News, on their line of Beauty News, they also have the Makeup Breakup, which is where they destroy makeup. And sometimes it's really expensive makeup, and you see them like just completely destroy it. And they just talk about makeup and different things in the makeup industry. They try on a lot of makeup. You can see actually what it looks like. And they're just really interesting to listen to, especially their accent. It's one of the things that I love the most, is their accent, because I can't say there's too many Australians that live in Canada, but they're really interesting to listen to. And the way that they describe things and they talk about things, I guess the theme is real people. They are real, like, they give you their real views. They're not there to lick anyone's butthole about this product, or they say I really love this product when they hate this product, and they tell it like it is. And that's, I guess, it was the realness that I was searching for, I guess. But I ended up really liking their channel, and I still watch it now, even after I've been operated on. Their Beauty News, sometimes their videos last over an hour, so sometimes I just put it on in the background and I listen to the girls talking, and it's something that distracts you, and at the same time you get to learn a little bit about makeup. So if that's something that interests you, then great. Still in the makeup category, I started watching a lot of Jeffree Star videos as well. I watched him a little bit less than I did, because in the beginning I knew who he was, but I wasn't really a fan. And then I started watching his videos and I kind of found him funny, so I got more into his videos in that space of before getting operated on, in that 1 month when I was stuck at home for my convalescence period. So I watched a lot of Jeffree Star, but I can't say that I watch as much of him now. His videos kind of sometimes gonna like annoy me, but every now and then I will find myself still watching his videos because he is funny. Another one that I like, which is not to do with well, I guess he kind of does makeup, but anyways, I really like Will & Belly's Beatdown. There's a lot of videos, and he has a very raunchy kind of humor. He's very crass. I'm saying he, but I should be saying she. Total drag queen. Was on RuPaul's RuPaul's Drag Race, and he's hilarious. It was people in my family who had listened to his songs, so from there I had gone on the internet and I was looking him up, and I started watching The Beatdown, and The Beatdown is hilarious. He just makes fun of people on the internet. It's kind of, if anyone knows the show Tosh 2.0, he's kind of like a little bit like that, where he looks at videos and he judges them, but he's just hilarious. He's freaking hilarious, and I just laugh watching his videos, and laughing was something that I really needed. So his videos are, if you like that kind of humor, then jump on him because it's great. Changing kind of category, they two kind of fall in the same category. I watch a lot, and I still do because I love these people. I watch a lot of Simon and Martina. It's a couple who comes from Canada in Ontario, and they ended up moving to Korea, and they spent about 8 years in Korea, and then after that they moved to Japan, and right now they live in Japan. And they mostly talk about the food in the region, so a lot of their videos are food related, but a lot of their videos are also about what it's like to live in Japan and the different struggles that you have to go through. And also, they're a couple, they're a married couple. And Martina has a debilitating disease, so something that she has to live with, and it's something that they're very honest about. And they talk about like how when they travel, she has problems. As soon as she gets off the plane, it hurts her entire body, and she ends up spending a lot of time in a hotel and stuff like that. So another really real couple of people who just share their experiences. They have a lot of videos. They're funny to watch. They're very entertaining to watch. And if anything interests you about another country, then they would be a great introduction, I would say, to the culture in Japan. And they have this whole kind of like segment, or I'm not going to say it's really like merchandise because I believe that she really does it, but they do have merch, but it's not some kind of promotion. She has this whole thing about building a ladder. So people who struggle with anything, whether it be a debilitating disease or depression or just anxiety or anything really, she has her thing about building a ladder. So it's, you find that one good thing and you work up from there. So step from step. And I really like their videos. As soon as they have a video out, whether it be a podcast or a live stream or just one of their videos, they just recently went on a trip. So they have a lot of I'm saying a lot, I'm sorry. They have a lot of videos about them going across Europe. So they're just really interesting to watch, and you can tell they really love each other. So it brings you that like hominess watching their videos, and it's great. And funnily enough, along the same lines as Simon and Martina, I watched another channel called Abroad in Japan with Chris Abroad, and he also lives in Japan, but he's from the UK. So he's been there a little bit longer, I believe, but he showed up as a teacher, and he really started his videos of what it's like first day one in Japan kind of thing. And he's worked up from there, and he has different people from the region, and he does a lot of collaborations with other people who are in Japan as people who are from other countries living in Japan right now. And it took me a while to get into his channel. I wasn't too sure in the beginning, but then after a while I kind of got more and more into it. And he has a kind of sarcastic kind of humor. Like, he's a very kind of, like, I don't really know how to describe him. I don't want to say, like, grouchy kind of personality, but he's very, like, sarcastic. It takes not everyone, I guess, that understands that kind of attitude, but I'm kind of like that in everyday life. I'm kind of, like, sarcastic, and I don't want to say negative, but, like, I make, like, those shitty jokes that are not funny, but kind of funny. But like, I see a lot of my attitude in him, and the things he talks about is interesting. The way things are in Japan, the different people that he does collabs with. So if anything about Japan interests you, then definitely Simon and Martina and Abroad in Japan are channels that could interest you. Getting away from electronics, some of the things that I really enjoyed doing, that I did a lot after I was operated on and leading up to the operation, I really like to knit and to crochet. So I crocheted a lot of blankets. I made a lot of scarves. Knitting, I enjoy knitting because you can do more complex things, but I like crocheting when I want to do a big project. And I have the bad tendency to start a project when I knit, get halfway through and then stop and then start a new project because I'm like, oh, well, I just found a new idea. This would be fun. So it ended up that I have a lot of started projects for knitting. But crocheting, I made at least 2-3 blankets. So those are some things that I find really calming. And what I do now, usually I'd watch a movie or something while I would knit or while I would crochet. But I decided to start listening to audiobooks on YouTube. So now I listen to an audiobook on YouTube while I crochet and I knit. So it kind of like, when I'm watching a movie, I'm more fixated on watching the movie. And sometimes I'll get distracted and I'll stop doing what I'm doing. Whereas the audiobook, I can just listen to it and nothing distracts me, and I end up going faster than I normally would watching something. So those are, I would say, the main things that I would do leading up to the operation and in my convalescence period, besides watching TV shows, catching up on stuff, or rewatching shows like Outlander or Game of Thrones I rewatched, or other shows that I can't think of right now, but shows that I really, really like that I would just binge them and let them play. I know the first 3 days when I first got home from the hospital, I've been watching South Park for a very, very long time, and for a long time I would watch it every night before I would go to bed. So in those first 2 days when I came home from the hospital and I was taking my Demerol pills again to try and make sure that the pain didn't get too bad, I ended up putting the South Park movie on almost immediately when I got home, and I put it on my TV. My computer's attached to my TV, so I can just play anything on my computer and ship it to my TV. And I had South Park playing, and as soon as I would kind of like, I wouldn't say pass out, but I would fall asleep because Demerol makes you really sleepy. So I would fall asleep and then wake up, and I would be at a random spot in the movie, but I've seen it so many times, so I know it by heart, and I would just put it back to the beginning. So South Park movie played on repeat in my house for a good 2 days, and my boyfriend said that I was like totally out of it anyways. Like, he would talk to me and I would be like wandering off, so he didn't really like, there wasn't much interaction going on with other people, but it was fine because I had South Park playing all the time. So every time I would wake up, I would kind of watch South Park a little bit. If I saw that I was a little bit further along, I'd put it back to the beginning, and it just played nonstop. So I don't know when I'm going to watch that again, but I definitely know it by heart. If I didn't know it before, I know it by heart now. So those are basically the things that I did leading up to getting my surgery, and the channels that I appreciated the most in that time when I can't really distract myself by doing physical things. I needed to distract myself mentally from everything that I was going through. So those are the main things that I did to get through the trying period of leading up to the operation and after the operation. I'm curious to what any of you out there did. Was there channels that maybe helped you more than another channel? Is there a great VSG or sleeve surgery channel or any other bariatric channel that you really enjoyed, or information that you got from another channel? Feel free to let me know. I'll definitely check them out. And maybe if it wasn't watching something, how did you distract yourself leading up to the operation, or find your motivation leading up to the operation and get through the hard first weeks after the surgery? Those are all things that really interest me. So please let me know. And as usual, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe if you want to continue watching my journey. And I'll be next. And I'll be back next time with another video. And I hope that you guys are enjoying them. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. And that you'll check out maybe some of these channels. So I will see you next time, guys. Thanks for joining me. Bye.